Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you for joining us for another Station Rigs. Today we are down in Wildwood, New Jersey, and we're at the fire convention in the state of New Jersey. Today we're going to be talking about this Wildland truck, and this is Laura. She's one of the representatives. Nice to meet you.
Hello, how are you, Mike?
Good, good. She's one of the representatives that's going to be walking us through and taking a look at this very unique vehicle. Thank you for joining us, but before we begin, do me a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that notification, and we're going to give you some really good information. Laura, thank you so much for inviting us out and take a look at this truck. You know, when I walked up to this, I fell in love with it just from the looks of it. I love the big tires. I love how big the truck is. I personally own an F-150 with 37s,
Okay.
so I'm a little biased. But we've done a couple videos already on Wildland trucks. We went out to South Metro and actually looked at a Wildland truck out there. I'm always interested in this. Across America, Wildland fires are huge. You know, they are great service people that go out, but we need to give them the equipment to do their job effectively and efficiently, and I believe this truck will do that.
Yes, Mike, you're totally right. So what is unique about this truck is that it's not only a Type 3 for wildfires, but it's also a Type 1 for pumper.
Okay.
So you can use it both wildfires, rural, and also structural.
Okay.
So that's the unique thing of this truck. You have two-in-one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so multifaceted unit. So, you know, whether you do a lot of wildland fires or little, you can actually use this for a house fire then too.
Totally.
All
Yeah.
right.
And on top of that, the water capacity is 600 gallons of water.
Okay.
So that will help you with both uses, both the structural
Right.
Type 1 and the wildfire Type 3.
Awesome. Can we take a look at it and see what's going on around and inside and open the cabinets? Maybe
course.
kick the tires and that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, Laura, can you tell me what this truck is built on? You know, this is an absolutely massive truck. You know, it looks beautiful, but what is it? It is a Ford, Chevy. What is it?
It's an international chassis, CV515 series, with a Duramax engine that everybody knows, Allison transmission. But the most important thing is the GVWR. So the GVWR is 23,000 pounds. Why this is important? Because we're putting 600 gallons of water. The whole truck, fully loaded, weighs only 21.5. So you still have a little bit of margin to go.
Okay, and now in the driver's seat, how does it all set up on the inside? Obviously, you got a step to get into it.
Of course. It's quite high because if you look at the tires, they're super singles. We have an option also for duals, depending on the environment that you're going to be working in. If it's an off-road or if it's going to be sandy, or depending, you can have different tires.
Okay.
So those would be more for sandy and off-road.
Okay.
Then on the cab, regular cab is quite large, and you have all the tools here to control both the monitor that you see there. In this case, it's an L-car.
Okay.
But it can be also other brands. And you are gonna have the joystick here. So you're gonna be able to extinguish from the front. And then you have all the controls for the pump
Okay.
to inside. So this is important because you can do a one operator operation, one man or woman operation.
Okay.
So that's important to
So
know.
the pump is run from the inside.
It can be run from the inside and from the outside,
Okay.
both ways. We'll see that later.
Okay. So one of the things that we talked about over our channel is the option to pump and roll. Is this truck able to do that?
Of course, Mike. So this truck has two pumps. One of them is what we call an auxiliary pump. It's a PTO pump that allows for pump and roll. So you can pump at the same time that you roll. That's what we usually do for wildfires. The other pump that we can see on the rear is the main pump for structural initial attack. That will be at 1250 GPM. So this truck has the two capabilities.
Okay. And how many crew members does this carry?
Okay, so you have the two in the front, and then you can have up to three here in the rear seat. In this case, we have a configuration with two SCBA seats, so you can wear your SCBAs for structural attack. You can have up to three. So depending on what the fire department wants, we can put 3 SCBAs or 3 regular seats with a storage compartment in the middle or not. So it's totally flexible depending really on the operation you're gonna go to.
Right, right. So if you're doing more structural fires, this is a good setup. But maybe
Yeah.
if you're doing wildland, putting a storage unit for all your foods because you're going to be out for a while
A
could be a good
cooler.
option. Yeah.
A cooler.
Yeah, yeah.
Very important. Yeah.
Okay, and as we walk around, it looks like these are roll-up doors. Is that correct?
Yes, those are roll-up doors, so very easy to work with. And this is a whole poly body. So this is one of the other reasons why we're able to put so much water, 600 gallons of water. One of the reasons is the chassis, the GVWR that we talked about, and the other reason is the poly body. It's a monoblock structure, so it's built on one piece. It's made of polypropylene, which has much better performance, mechanical and in resistance than aluminum.
Okay.
And it weighs less. But it's not only the weight, it's also the space. So you see here the no drilling sign. Why? Because the water tank is there.
Okay.
So we don't want to drill into the water tank.
Right, right.
So we're saving space too. So we don't have the interference with aluminum. That's why we're able to put so much water.
Nice. Okay, and as we walk around to the next cabin, it looks like you got a couple of hose lines here.
Yeah, so this is one of the ways where we can put the hoses, but this is fully customizable. So depending on the needs of the fire department, we will do one layout or another. Like for example, here we have also SCBAs. Instead of taking the room from the cabin, you can put them there. But this is totally flexible depending on the operations.
Okay, and that's structural firefighting hose that you have in this one, or is that forestry hose?
It can be both.
Okay.
So it's really for a demo in this case, but it can be both. And we also have these step-ups that you can use for stepping up.
Wow. Okay.
So you can put lots of things and gear on the rooftop too. And it can also be used as a small compartment there. All
right.
Okay.
Now we work our way around to the back side.
Yes, and this is the most interesting part because here we have the main pump, 1250 GPM pump. So it's the pump for the mini pumper, for the type 1 pumper. In this case, it's a Hale because this is so compact that it needs to fit. So this one fits here. And you can operate everything here. We have the there's also a foam tank with 15 gallons of foam and a mixer. So a primer and a mixer around the pump class A foam.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all your gauges are the typical gauges that you would normally find on a regular pumper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you have here the hose reel with a 100 feet hose that you can use in different ways, depending on your interventions.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That looks like one of the ones that we use for our trash lines, kind of thing.
Yeah, it does.
Now, you have a hose bed up top also that can carry the regular layout?
Yeah, so we have a hose bed there that can carry up to 1,000 feet of the 1.5 inches hoses, and then pre-connect lines there.
Nice.
And these, you can see there, well, here, this is handy too, so you have two. And with this, you can go here, and we have also this for the hard section.
Okay.
But you can use them, this is open, this can be open, so you can use it as a regular compartment too.
Right.
Yeah, so very versatile.
Right.
That's the idea, efficiency and versatility. So again, these big compartments, so we have one horizontal and then one completely vertical, so you can put all the gear that you need.
Okay.
And inside is completely customizable. So we do the layout. Usually when we do the build with the customer, with the fire department, we decide on the layout of the compartments.
Right, right.
The good thing, if you've taken a look at this rounded, so the this way of construction, we call it eco-polyfire. Eco because it's eco-friendly, it's 100% recyclable, so that is important.
Nice.
Poly because it's polypropylene, and fire because we've tested the fire behavior on a control situation, and it's very good. So we burned a vehicle when we started 20 years ago with this type of construction.
Okay.
And the result was very good. So, of course, all the paint faded, but the structure was intact. So that's a good thing.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
why we
'cause-
call it eco-polyfire.
Yeah, because if you get a flashover or you get a storm in a brush fire, you want to be able to withstand that.
Totally.
You know, and one of the questions that I was going to ask you, but you just addressed it, you know, the aluminum withstands that fire so I can get out, get that escape. I was nervous when you said basically plastic on the back that it would melt and I wouldn't have that chance to escape. But you're saying no, it's going to
It does
withhold it.
melt, yeah. And if you can take, you can see this rounded shape here. So this is what poly allows us to do. It's a rounded shape, so for better penetration in forest or the wildland environment where you are. So
Right.
much better. It's narrower on the top.
And then up front, you have a pretty large bumper
Yes.
with a turret on the front of that.
Yeah, so this is a monitor for usually for brush fires.
Okay.
And this front bumper, heavy duty front bumper can be tilted. So you have here, you tilt it over this side
Right.
for better maintenance of the chassis. So that's
Okay.
also important. We have different options, like options to put trays here if you want to have hoses. And an important option that we have developed too is cuffs. So we can put, even if in this compact unit, we can put a cuffs unit that we've
Nice.
developed.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Now, where are you based out of? Where is your company coming from?
Iturri Group, it's an old group. It's more than 75 years old, with factories in Germany, Spain, Brazil, and now a new factory in the US. So we're new in the US. Our factory is in Creswell near Eugene, Oregon.
Okay.
So we know about wildfires
Yeah,
there.
yeah. How long are you guys on manufacturing for a vehicle?
For the moment, we're giving a 12 to 18 months lead time, which is quite good compared to the market. In the market, you have 2, 3, 4 years wait. So we need to wait for the chassis, but we have a good agreement and deal with International, so we work well with them. So between 12 and 18 months.
Laura, thank you so much for taking me around this truck. This is absolutely beautiful. This is something that I want in my own personal fleet. But I got a couple of real quick questions before we end. Some of the specs. What is the approach angle, the departure angle, and the size of these tires? Because they're absolutely massive.
Yeah, Mike. So the approach angle is 35 degrees. The departure angle is 33. And the tire size is 335/80s.
Okay.
So it's almost 38 inches.
Yeah, those are massive tires.
they
It definitely will, clear pretty much anything that you're going to come across in a wildfire.
They will.
Thank you so much for showing us this beautiful truck. We really appreciate taking your time out of the show today and coming down to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Once again, this was Heroes Next Door. This was Doing a Station Rigs. Do us a favor before we end. Hit that subscribe, hit that notification, smash those like buttons, make some comments below. Do you want a truck like this? And if so, do you have one already? Thank you all for watching, and until next time, stay safe and take care of each other. Welcome back to Heroes Next Door. Thank you all for joining us today. Today is another Station Rigs. We are still down in Wildwood, New Jersey, and we're taking a look at a bunch of different vehicles. Today we're going to take a look at one from the Defender Group, and then we're going to take a look at one of their towers or ladders that is made by Rosenbauer.